पचरंगी लहरियायूं ओढ़े ओढ़े जाए, अलबेली मैं मतवाली सब देखें बोले हाय, एकली मैं गाऊं मारो धुन, रेत में झूमूं मैं झूम झूम, ओ रौनक झनक पायल बाजे, रौनक झनक पायल बाजे, रौनक झनक पायल बाजे, रौनक झनक पायल बाजे.
That was really awesome, Kanika Patawari. Your new Hindi song, that's of course Ronak Janak. To
जी.
me, really, this has become an earworm. I've been listening to it on a loop since morning.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
How was it for you when you were creating this song?
Bahut, we really enjoyed it so much. Me and my friend Santosh, who produced the song for me, we both had a really good time. And I think as soon as we got past the first few sessions together, we knew it was a special one. So we had a really good time.
Kanika, I have a lot of questions about your music, but before we move on, would you like to tell us more about you? You, of course, have studied in Berklee College of Music in Boston.
Yes, I have. So I was born and raised in Belgium, outside of India, to Rajasthani parents. My mom grew up in Bombay, and my dad was raised in a small village 4 hours away from Jaipur. So this was the context I was brought up in, and they tried to preserve the culture as much as possible. Though even at home, we would speak Hindi and Marwari predominantly, so that we would be able to learn to read, speak, and write in Hindi and whenever we come to India. I started learning music at a very young age in school, seeing my brother, who was also pursuing instruments, and my mom is also a classical Indian dancer. So I had these things surrounding me to be inspired by. And then after that, I went to college, as you mentioned, and my world just opened up, and you realize how many things you can do while you're in the music industry. So that's where I studied production and composition. How do you create a song? How do you write a song? And I learned all the little technicals about it. And fast forward a few years, I'm able to create my own music, my own expression, and bring some happiness to some people, hopefully.
Right. I saw that clip where for the Indian ensemble of Berkeley students, the one where they perform for Air Rahman, and you were of course part of the song Jia Jale, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
How nervous or excited were you when you know that you're gonna perform in front of A.R. Rahman?
We were very nervous. I'm not gonna lie, very nervous. I remember the first time we saw him, and the first day, everyone was so quiet. We're used to be a room full of loud, students, but that day when he came, we were so quiet and in awe of his presence. It was just a phenomenal experience. That's, I think, the best way to describe it. You have to be there to, I think, experience the moment that we had, the feelings that we had, and for everyone who attended that concert that we did, I think it was just different vibrations when you're physically there, and he just brings a certain kind of energy that all you can do is respect him.
Karika, what do you think that they don't teach at the Music Institute that you have learned ever since you got on your musical journey, that you have discovered about the world of music?
I mean, there's so much that they don't teach you at music school. I think the best part of being in music school was the people that I got to meet. And those are the best parts of, I think, being in the music industry, is the relationships you make, the friends you make, the people that become family to you. And I think those are the people you even enjoy creating with. For example, the song that I made, the video that I put together, all of these people who I work with are such good, dear friends now. And I think those relationships are key to learn how to, keep, maintain, sustain, because that's, everyone should be lifted together.
So, is there a plan you have when you came out from Berkeley and decided to venture into indie music? Do you have a plan, or are you just gonna discover the world as you go?
It was a little bit of both. I think I needed to discover, but my control freak of a mind would not let me just go onwards as anything planned. So I had actually planned, and I had moved out to Los Angeles, and I was working there at a label at Sony Music. I was there for a year, and I was exploring more of the business side of things. You know, we were discovering new talent over there and putting together a new boy band, and it was exciting stuff for a year. And I think during that time, I got a chance to really work on my own music, my own sound, which I knew I always wanted to pursue. And I think this is a craft that the more time you spend on it, the better you, I think, get at it, and the more you hone in on what does Kanika sound like, what does any artist sound like, and I think you have to develop that and give it time. So I did that, and now here I am finally releasing my first Marwari song with Warner Music. So it's been a journey, but somewhat is unplanned and somewhat is planned, and I think it's good to have a mix of both.
How important is it for you to be attached with a music label like Warner Music? And what do you think it'll do for you that you weren't able to do it with the other song that you released on your music channel?
Well, I think the first, best example is that I'm sitting here with you, speaking with you. I think that is a huge amount of reach that Warner brings to the table. It's creating a platform for musicians like myself, and especially with their new venture, Mati Music, they are creating such an incredible stage for folk musicians all around the country. And I'm so honored that they've given me a platform to share my music, because I think this kind of style of music is important to preserve in whatever shape or format that it's coming in. And they're doing a great job at it. And while, I was releasing music independently before this as well, and I think with Warner, you get a push, you get more people to hear your music. And at the end of the day, as an artist, that's what's the best thing that I could ask for.
I was reading one of your interview in which you said that Bollywood is not your destination. You want to be in the indie space. In a country where we are obsessed with Hindi film and Hindi music and the kind of reach it gives, how can you not go and take that Bollywood route? I mean,
so I don't believe I ever said that I don't want it to be my destination. I feel like it's something that if an opportunity arises, of course I would love to. I grew up watching Bollywood films. I love watching films. I have nothing against it. I think it would be a tremendous opportunity if I'm able to do that, and even maybe compose music for it. I think that would be great. I think, that's hopefully I see that down the line it happening, and it's a special way to reach more people, so I have absolutely nothing against it.
Sure. So which musicians inspire you the most? Do you have a list of favorites with whom you want to collaborate in future?
So I think currently I'm really admiring what Salim Suleiman are doing. They're releasing their new album Bhumi, and with every song, I'm just in awe of the arrangements that they're putting together and the musicality that they bring to the table. I think is an inspiration for every single musician out there. So I really admire them and look up to them.
How was the response to your previous songs? I happened to listen to the song called Playing It Safe, and the other one was Sari Raat.
Yeah, so I've released a few songs before this, most of them in English, actually. Playing It Safe was one of my first few songs that I had planned to release. So it was very much like an experiment. How is this going to go? Are people going to like it or not? And I got a lot of, lovely messages and comments. As a beginner, as a newbie, it was really motivating to release that and to put it out there and, not feel so attached to, oh, this is my song. What are people going to think? So I think there was a process of catharticism in there as well. And then with Saira, that was my first venture of releasing songs in Hindi out in the country. And it was so exciting because that's what led to Warner eventually happening, because I was contacted by Abhishek Patil, who at the time worked at Sony. And he reached out to me after I released that song, and he's pretty much held my hand since then. And now that he's over to Warner, he's the one who made this app happen. So I am completely grateful to him and for that song to come out at that time.
So then please give us a few lines of that song.
Yeah, sure. सारी सारी रात मैं जागूं तेरे साथ, सारी सारी रातों मैं ना मानूं कोई बात, तू रहे मेरे पास सारी सारी रातों.
Uh, Kanika, you of course write your own songs. Which language are you most comfortable in? And is that a language you dream in or express yourself while you're writing your songs?
I think that's a question I ask myself several times as well. But I tend to be most comfortable in English because I have spoken that mostly, in outside of my home. But more and more, I've been staying in India more and more over the past few years, and my Hindi has gotten much more comfortable. But speaking in a language and writing in it is a completely different ball
Yeah.
game. So I am nowhere an expert, and I have started working with some amazing lyric writers, and hopefully in the songs to come, you guys will hear their talents as well.
And how much do you listen to your own singing?
I think it's important to listen to your own singing, to learn from it, to criticize it, and to get better from it. So, but after a certain point, I do try to let go because, after a certain point, like my song is out now. You can't do anything about it. Jo hai, so hai. What can you do to improve the next one?
And finally, where do you see yourself 5 years from now, Kanika?
5 years from now, so along with my music, I hope to have had many, many more releases by then. I'm opening up a small recording studio here in Bombay, and I want it to be more than just a studio because we have plenty of them in Bombay. But I'd love for this to be like a nurturing ground for other artists and for people to learn music production and collaborate and network. So I see that really exploding, hopefully in 5 years. And I also run a small project called Music Recycle, where I'm raising awareness for sustainability. I come from a family background. Our family has been in the recycling industry for over 30 years. And I'm very proud and honored to say that my father has been a pioneer in the industry. And when you grow up in that context and you mix it with the art, the passion that I have, I found that, despite being the product of a family that's been doing this for so many years, I myself don't have enough information and full understanding of what the problem is at hand. So I felt like there is a need to add more information in the world, especially to our generation. And I started this project. So I find various avenues, opportunities in the music industry, and I try to help them make the switch, whether it's in a small way or a big way, to a more sustainable option, whether it's in the materials they choose, whether it's spreading awareness, whether it's just giving an artist a little bit more of a platform because they're making music about sustainability. So there's a lot of work there to be done. We've been mostly active in America, but I'll be bringing it out to India soon too. So that'll be exciting.
Thank you so much and all the best, Kanika.
Thank you so much, Vishal. Lovely speaking to you.